Hi Flosstube, welcome back to my dining room. It's been about a month, I think, at this point. Almost a month. I have quite a few finishes to show. Only one whip, two whips, but that's because I had all of the finishes. And then a little bit of haul, and I'm going to save some life update for the end because the emotion and the world fell apart and I can't do that first. So my first show is actually an FFO, but I didn't do it. In fact, I had zero to do with this one, but I have to show it off. We're going to hang it up in Ellery's room tomorrow. This is a quilted wall hanging that my mom put together. There's a cat behind me on the chair. I'm squishing him. These are all cross stitch. They were kits. On the stamped fabric, the cross stitch part was blank, but you had to like fit it right into that opening. Can you see that last one? Okay, the cat moved. So there is the wall hanging. You may remember me getting these kits. I tried starting with this one. I counted like a crazy person. I mean, like, I counted a lot to get it lined up where it's supposed to go. And I started that thing 4 times, took it out 4 times, something crazy like that. And after that, I went, nope. And I put it away. And then my good stitchy friend Cheryl asked if I had anything on Ada that I needed help with, because she knows I have, you know, the crazy amount of whips. And I happily shipped them to her, and she stitched them for me for Ellery. So they're stitched by Cheryl, put together by my mom, and I can hang it up in her room tomorrow now. Finish wise, this was a kit that I had been working on at work. This was my first finish. Little ornament kit. There's the finished piece. Really happy with how it turned out. It's a little bit misshapen. I stitch, you know, these ornaments I stitch in hand because they're so small. So when I'm finishing it, I'll have to put it back in shape. So that's the second one from that series that I've done now. I have 6 of them. Not being at work for a while, I don't know when I'll start another one, but once I go back to the office, I'll probably take one with me and start that for my break and lunchtime projects. My next finish is on a piece that I hand dyed myself. And this was my Baby Yoda black work. This took a lot longer than I anticipated. And mostly, trying to fold it, mostly this, I mean, that's a good amount of back stitching for that. So what I'll do now is someday when we're allowed to leave houses again, I'll go find a embroidery hoop it will fit in, probably paint it black, and I'm gonna frame it just in a hoop. The next finish that I finished this morning. I don't have the pattern with me. It's one of the hearts by Seekis and Company. It's flamingo heart, and I started it the other day. This was my stress start from Kenny's whip group that I'm in. We were allowed a COVID/stress start for the month of March. So I had to finish it before March ended. It's all the specialties, well, different types of stitches. Uses Karen watercolors. and pearl cotton. So it's a quick stitch, and I stitched this on a opal 10 count Tula. And I'm planning on framing that and taking that back to the office once we are able to go back to work. So there's 3 of the whips that I did work on. My last 2 are the black work, the peppermint purple black work sale. I'm not up to date on these anymore. This is how far I am. And I believe that whole bottom row should be done now, with this coming week being this square down here. So I really need to catch up on those. Maybe that's what I don't know. I was printing each week off at work, but I'm not there anymore, so I'm just going to have to do it off of the iPad. And most nights the iPad ends up in Ellery's room for music at bedtime, so I'll have to wait till she falls asleep one night and then steal it. Or work on it during the day sometime. So there's my 2 versions. I am officially behind on the Animal Almanac sale now. With everything that happened in March, I just didn't have it in me to get it started. So I have all of March, and then April just released, so I need to get caught up on that and get that started again. Everything else, I got a couple of birthday gifts in the mail from, well, one came from Stephanie in Utah. Thank you, Steph. Ivy House Crafter. And I think I might have shown that already. No, I guess I didn't. But she crocheted me the most adorable little owl, and I already took him to my office. So I obviously can't show that. And then she also got me, oops, a little notebook, super cute card. I don't know if she actually made the card or if she got it from a craft show or something, but it's so cute. And then I got this really pretty card from Carrie, and she sent me some cotton to use for backing or pillow finishes, or I could use them for project bags. These 2 actually look really nice together. And then she sent this keychain. And this was really cool. This is a stitch gauge for knitting. Stuck to the back. I thought that was really cool. 2 inches along the side here, and then all the different size needles or hooks you'd use. So that's cool. And this little tin with some of Kathy's floss and some assorted Cosmo. Yep, I think these are all Cosmo. So I'm really excited to try those out. I have not stitched with Cosmo before, but some different Cosmo to try. Lots of pinks and reds. And little needle minder. And a diamond painting. I haven't pulled this one out yet, but this is a partial. So only the butterfly is the actual diamond painting part, diamond area. So that'll be cool. Here's a, that's with the background. It'll be really pretty. Ooh, I almost dropped stuff. Okay. I picked these up from work the other day at the shop. Obviously the shop is closed, and even for a couple weeks before the shop had to close, Mo had told me not to come in on those Thursdays because it had just been so slow. So I haven't worked out there in quite a while. It's kind of crazy. But she was posting some things in the Facebook group the other day, and so I had her set a couple things aside for me and went and picked them up. I got 2 of these shepherd's bush kits. I really, really like this one. And then just another seasonal one to be able to switch out. And I bought the box that these patterns call for. It's the black one. And the latest issue of Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher. And there was quite a few pieces in here that I really want to stitch. So I'm hoping this one was one of them. This is from Lindy Stitches. Very cute. There's a really cute Barbara Anna. Spring in My Heart. You know, I could use all of the Cosmos, actually, that, I think that's what I'm going to do for those flowers. That would be perfect to use all the Cosmo floss that, Carrie just sent me. I think I'm going to do that. Because as you'll hear later in my update, I can't get to a whole lot in my basement right now. I really like this finish with this lace on there too. And then there's a lot of punch needle patterns in here as well that I really, really enjoy. So this was a good issue. This is one of the pieces in there. I've seen a lot of people stitching from this issue, this spring issue. So it was a popular one. And of course it has the tutorial from Vanna, Twisted Stitcher. There's one that I'm looking for. This one. I've seen this one being stitched quite a bit lately too. This is from Teresa Kogut. Very cute. I picked up Hank's, this this is from Mo's sale. She did Hanks of Silk not too long ago. So I just picked up one white and one black. And I have to be really careful touching it right now because my hands are so dry and rough from washing so often that the silk is really snagging right now, even just on my skin. It's really annoying. And then these were 2 of her regular size silks that I picked up. And then I picked up, there was a week that she did cottons. Here's 2 different pinks, 2 different purples. Hard to see with just the overhead light on right now. Here's a really pale, ooh, that's really bad. It's a pale blue. We have the daylight light bulbs. So it's really, really hard. Ouch. More of an aqua. Another blue. Really pretty coral color. It's funny how they're showing up two different colors, but they are the same. And a melon color, and this is not that yellow. It's really deceiving. I got an order from Marie, Just Add Needles. This was an order that I placed a long time ago, actually. One of the things that I ordered was Lilith, and I ordered this all when Lilith released, so, I mean, it's been a few months at this point. So I finally got my order, so I picked up Lilith, and I actually got the bead pack to go with that. And Lilith is one that I'm allowed to start for Kenny's Whip Group this year. So I may try to go downstairs and see if I can pull out the DMC and fabric and get that started. Well, no, I guess I probably won't, because I can't get to the office supply store to make a working copy. And there's no way I'm working with that chart. I also ordered Bella Mermaid that released, may have released a little bit after Lilith. Those colors are just amazing. I really don't want to take the plastic cover off. So I'm excited to start that. And of course got the silks and Krynic for that as well. It's going to be a lot of confetti stitching in those flowers. Ooh-wee. And then some fabric that she had posted. This is all Seraphim. This is a fat quarter in this color. I hope this shows up and does it. Oh, yeah. It's showing up perfect. The color is called Bring on the Rain. No idea what I'll use it for. Maybe it'll end up being good for a mermaid at some point. It's a really dark one though, I don't know. What is, this one doesn't say what count it is. I think it's a 28. This is a 28 count linen called Happy Mistake. Excuse me. I promise I don't have coronavirus. This is a 36 count in Sleepy Hollow. Really nice color. Really like that. It's more muted in person. And 28 count Capri. I think this one would be it's too bright for Lilith. It's really pretty. And then here's another Seraphim. This was March fabric of the month, Ocean Breeze. This actually might work for this might actually work for Lilith. I'll have to pull the DMC and do a floss toss. It's really washed out in the camera here, but it is very, very pretty. You know, like seafoam green. Kathy's March fabric of the month, and I did a 32 count opal. Nice modeling in there. And then this was in her album one week, and this is a 28 count linen. And there was no color listed. It just said, not what I meant for it to do. But I really like it. So, there's a lot of green in there, a little bit of blue, and the darker color may have been a brown. And here was floss from that week too. I really like this speckled one. Hand dyed by Rolanda. This was a pack of the month. This must have been March. This reminds me of succulents. Just the purples, you know, the eggplant, the greens, sage. It's pretty. I think this is my April floss of the month from her, so I'm not going to show this yet. I think she actually had it ready, so she sent it with my package, but I don't want to show it yet in case it's April's and people haven't gotten theirs yet. She did post these 2 silk packs the other day, so I was able to get one of those. And then this just was silk she had posted in the shop. And cottons. I think, I don't know if I showed these or not, so you might see them for a second time, but these came from Agnes. Yes. Is that her? Yeah, no. Angela. Why am I having troubles right now? Hold on. Agnes is right. Little Minders, Agnes Little Minders on Etsy. And, oh, sorry. So these are my birthstone dragons. Ellery's and Ethan's. I did show these last time, I think. Needle Attractions. I think this was a freebie. Thank you, Kim. Thank you, thank you. And here's, isn't this awesome? And then, of course, had to have that. is cute. This is Gina's Unique Boutique. The Witcher. And I plan on using that one when I work on stitching the makeup series from Karen, Meridian Designs, because that's coming in my market order from Marie. Just Add Needles. I am struggling with names, can you tell? You still playing? Brian's playing Animal Crossing. I picked it up for us since I knew we were going to be stuck at home for a while. Okay, so catch up. Yeah, life is crazy for everybody. I hope that everybody's able to stay safe. I know that I know a lot of essential employees, so I'm sure that many of you are still working and not even working from home, probably still going to your offices, going to your hospitals, wherever you work. So hopefully you guys are doing okay. If you are able to work from home, I hope that you are. And I'm hoping that if you're one of the many that have been laid off completely, that you're able to get unemployment or find something else, because I can't even imagine if I were in that position right now. We are lucky. We're both working. We're both working from home. Ethan is done with school now for the entire year, waiting to see what kind of online learning stuff they're going to have through the school district for the kids. They have until April 28th to get that approved by the governor and let parents know. So we'll see what happens with that. Kids are out of routine, obviously. We've had a couple of really rough days with behavior and fighting and whatnot, but for the most part, they're doing really well. Ethan's doing a lot of online programs for school that the school gave us ahead of time, just some practice stuff and things he can do on his own. And we're trying to, keep up with having him do some reading every day. Brian's doing better with the homeschooling thing than I am. He plans on actually teaching, I think. I do not plan on teaching. I plan on teaching art, which he's been doing a lot of. Now we're at the point of waiting to see what happens with how long we're off and whether Ellery even goes back to daycare, considering it's closed right now and she was supposed to start kindergarten in the fall. So it might not even be worth keeping daycare. So we'll see. Thankfully, both of our parents are close and we can use them for help, later on in the summer if we need to. So we'll see what happens. Other than that, let's see. We've mostly been doing good. We did have a minor mishap with our basement. We had rain for a few days, and Brian went downstairs with the kids to play on a Sunday. I guess it was just last Sunday, so it'll be a week tomorrow. They went downstairs to play, and we had water in the basement. The sump pump had quit overnight at some point. We still caught it very early. We had a plumber come in, change out the sump pump, and had a restoration company come in. They unfortunately had to take, because we do have a finished basement, they had to take out all of the carpet padding. But we didn't lose anything. There was 2 boxes in the back storage room that got wet, and I haven't gone downstairs to see what it even is. We'll have to throw that out. Some of it was paper. But other than that, we didn't lose furniture. We didn't lose toys. We didn't lose belongings. We didn't lose cross stitch stash, thankfully. And it looks like insurance, our homeowner's insurance should cover all of the expenses for the restoration company. So we had 7 fans in the basement and a big dehumidifier. Everything is rearranged and Tetrised into half of the basement. The carpet is saved. I almost wish it hadn't been saved because it's a very high quality Berber carpet, but it's a sculpted Berber, so it's really hard to vacuum, and the pet hair just sits and it drives me nuts. But I'm not going to pay out of pocket to replace carpet. So we're waiting now. Now we have to wait because with everything with coronavirus, they're not sending construction crews in to finish unnecessary repairs. So we have a dry basement. We can use the basement. The carpet is covering the whole basement. It just is not stretched and seamed. And we're still trying to decide if we're going to have the carpet padding put back underneath or not. I think I am leaning towards wanting it just because it, helps insulate it a little bit more, being a basement and how cold they get, but we'll see. We have time to decide because it sounds like we're not getting it fixed for a couple months. Other than that, we haven't had a whole lot else going on. I was hoping to help my mom make masks my mom's been making some masks for friends that are nurses, and I've sent a bunch out. I was hoping to help with that process, but now my machine and all of my sewing tools are in a pile in the basement, and I'm just not willing to face that right now. So we'll see. Other than that, we're keeping on. We're doing okay. Not getting as much stitching time in as I could because I've spent a lot of evenings just staring at my phone or the TV instead of actually stitching, but I did have those 3 small finishes, so that's been nice. Had my hair done right before quarantine, so I look really good for quarantine. The purple. This white spot here, this is new. I found that this morning. Yep. One night Brian came out and asked me to help him with his hair, and he buzzed his head, and I didn't like it. It's okay, but I'm still not wild about it. He looked super special with clumps still all over the back of his head, though. Probably should have left some of those, huh, Brian? He disagrees. He loves it. He thinks it's the best thing ever. Now you just need to shave your face. So, it was a quick one tonight. If I get some more... I'm also getting into one of my model stitches I started today, so I'm not even going to have that to show. Obviously, I can't show it until it's done and released, so videos might be spaced out a little bit. The only thing I really have an idea of doing is still doing Mania picks like Cheryl did, Tranquil Stitcher. Kenny graciously approved Mania for the first time ever in his whip group because everybody's stuck at home. So maybe I'll bring out my binders 1 or 2 at a time and go through and pick out some Mania starts, and I'll just have to find some smaller charts that I can easily swap colors out on, because I can get to all of my stuff in the basement. It's just kind of all over and spread out. But I could probably get down there and pull out a few starts for May. I mean, we have the time, so I hope everybody's getting some good stitching in while you're home. If you're not stitching, maybe you picked up another hobby. I actually have been thinking about pulling out my knitting again or the punch needle, so maybe I'll jump in with one of those. I'll show progress with my next video. Have a good night.